example 10 rupees or 100 rupees to my friend. Okay, I try to intercept that and see if that's possible or no to rig the particular amount which I have been remitting. Okay, so instead of 100 rupees, say for example, I put around 10,000 rupees, but my wallet doesn't have that much money. But irrespective of that, 10,000 gets debited to my friend. Okay, so this is a flaw in the application because there at the back end it is not validated and things like that. So you'll uh, obviously you'll have to have certain skills to test that particular application, and that's you something called as a business logic testing. Okay, this is one of the things which you can enter into. Code review and network architecture. So code review here, like many of you are from the IT and the CS background who may go ahead and become like developers for certain applications and or would be developing your own applications for that matter. Okay, so code review here, what you will be doing is you will be analyzing that code which has been developed by the developer in a security aspect. So there are certain guidelines which comes usually we call them as OS top 10 attack. Okay, open web application security forum. Okay, so there are standard checks which you need to take at the code level so that the application is not vulnerable to any of the attacks which normally is like which can be mitigated at the developer's end. So whitelisting something, or say for example you have a user form in your application. Okay, and you enter certain things, and if there is a field for mobile, and you have, like, while developing the application, the developer has missed whitelisting it that any of the characters can be entered into that mobile field. Okay, so this can be exploited by the hacker. So there are certain things in at the back end, like called as SQL injection, or he can insert any PowerShell in that and then get back to the application and escalate the privileges of a normal user to a normal admin level user, and taking control of the database. So once you have the control of the database, then you can damage the particular application or the reputation of that organization. Okay, so that's very important in security. So reputation being very important here. Say for example, when I the first slide mentioned that Zomato being hacked. So like think on that lines that you are a user of Zomato, okay, and your data has been compromised, and all your details, like from your phone number to your address to your if you have saved your card details, all the details will be available with the hacker. And this is all sold on darknet, so on like dark web, darknet, whatever you called it. You must have seen in the video, right? So that is traded there. Okay, for one credentials, with all the information goes for around 10 rupees, 5 rupees. So it's like this. Zomato has so many, like millions and millions of accounts, right? So imagine the number, how much like it will be in the dark net. Okay, right? So on that lines. Okay, so the coming to compromise assessment. Compromise assessment is something which comes under the forensics part. Okay, say for example, the organization or any of the organization have been compromised. Okay, and you want to know whether how it has happened, when did it happen, and how the malware comes in, and how it has affected, what all data has been gone. So there are certain things, aspects to it. Okay, so we do it in compromise assessment. You will have to have a thorough knowledge on the network side, how the TCP protocol works, how the packets flow, how the layers of the application, various the OSI model works, what packets are there at each level, and how to identify it, how to zero down on who has done the damage, from which IP address the packet had come, or to which command sender it is going, things like that. This comes under the compromise assessment. So you need to have a very thorough knowledge on the network part. Okay. Infrastructure vulnerability assessment again is on the similar lines like that of application security, code level security. Just that here infrastructure, it means all your infrastructure device, be it your servers, be it your firewalls, switches, routers, all which are connected to the internet and are available publicly or privately, are comes under the infrastructure vulnerability assessment. So here also there are certain protocols and certain standards which you need to follow. You can search it on Google. There are a number of standards that are followed for vulnerability assessment. That is NIST standard. In India, we follow guidelines which are given by CERTIN, that's a Computer Emergency Response Team, and various other regulatories. Okay, when I mean regulatories, there are RBI, IRDA, SEBI. All this regulatory gives their own protocols and their standards which to be followed in order to test this particular applications and the infrastructure. Okay. Okay, coming to IoT, blockchain, cloud security. So this is like again, 10 years down the lane, everything will be IoT. Like everything will be on cloud. Okay, IoT here means Internet of Things. Your washing machines, your fridges, your electricity bulbs, all are connected through Wi-Fi, and everything is smart now. Okay, so this is going to be our next big thing. But at the back end, it is also vulnerable to exploits. Okay, the hackers are trying to lure all these IoT devices, blockchain, and also the cloud migration, so as to attack. So the attack is now more sophisticated than before because they have a lot of IoT devices and we have a lot of connected devices to the internet. Okay, so the security for all this becomes very important. That also is one of the very emerging fields in cybersecurity. That's IoT. Okay, IoT, blockchain, and cloud security. And to be very specific, cloud security is going to be next big thing because now everyone is moving on cloud since we are in lockdown, and everyone is working from home throughout the world. So the cloud, everyone is moving their infrastructure, all the applications, everything on cloud. Okay, so the cloud security becomes very important here. Okay, so again, in case if you're looking or moving to cybersecurity, you can look at this aspect also. So, but for this, again, basic knowledge of cloud, what cloud is all about, how it works, what are basically the buckets, S3 buckets, S4 buckets, how AWS Azure works, how the Amazon cloud works, everything on that. Microsoft Azure works. Okay, on that lens, you need to have a thorough knowledge on that. The basics should be clear, basically. Okay. So the coming to red team assessments. So red team assessment is something very just like the way you see it in various movies. Like okay, getting into someone's network by entering into physically enter into some of the other organization, or dropping a pen drive and things like that, getting a backdoor and putting some ransomware in the environment. So this again is carried out, but this needs a lot of knowledge on all the aspects, because social engineering is one of the aspects which I'll be showing another video on the social engineering part and how it affects as an individual also. It will be helpful for you also, and again in your personal life also, I'll be showing one of the videos. So we try to break all the process which are put by the organization and try to enter that organization. Okay, to give you a very simple example, I want to get into your college and extract all the database of all the students which are currently in your college. Okay, be it pass out students or current students, everything. What I'll try to do is start doing social engineering on your college. Okay, by social engineering I mean I'll find out who is there in the college, how I can enter into the college. I'll just lure around your college gate and beat your sandwich wala guy or chai wala guy there, and just see that how everyone is moving around, and I can drop a pen drive. Or in case if I find I can spoof an ID card of yours, like just like the same ID card I can make and then get into the, I can just walk in the college and get into the campus, and then later on moving to the campus and getting the data out. So there are a lot of aspects here. This is not just one day's game. It has a lot of, this is usually carried out of over a month. And by this, we get a lot of data out of the organization. In fact, we do this as a service in a lot of our for our clients and try to get it. I'll give you an example wherein we had done this for a pharma company, and we managed to put our CEO's name in their HR payroll, and our CEO had got got a email from their HR stating that your salary will be credited in 2 days. Sorry for the delay. So this was the level which we had breached, and we had managed to do that. And this is, and obviously I will not be able to disclose the client's name, but this is at the level at which we work. Okay. And obviously, in case if you are you want to do that, and so this is something which you also you can think of. Okay, but this comes at a later stage when you have a certain number of experience, like 3 years, 3 years of experience, and you have a very hands-on experience on doing things, because a lot of things are also attached to it. In case if you get caught, you directly are handed over to the police. Okay, so it's very covert activity. Only the higher management is like aware of it. So you have to be very careful of that. Okay, so this comes with experience, but yes, this can be one of the careers in case if you're planning to. Okay. Coming to bug bounty programs, bug bounty also I have a slide ahead. I'll cover that there. Okay. So critical infrastructure and OT security, again, this is an emerging field. Critical infrastructure, why? Because your human life is very important. Okay, because in case if anything happens to the critical infrastructure here mentions is the manufacturing plants. Okay, the electricity plants, the water plants, water purification plants, your dams, your nuclear facilities. Okay, in fact, there's a very good case study. If you are interested, you can have a look at it. It's called the Stuxnet. Okay, it was one of the biggest hack of at least this was long back, but this is still used as a case study because of the level of which it was hacked. So the nuclear facility of that country was hacked, and they were thinking that our nuclear production is on certain levels, but in fact it was not. Okay, on that levels. So you can have a look at it. Stuxnet was the name, in case if you want to search it. Okay, so that is why it is very critical, because in case if something happens, or a ransomware or a attack or a hacker gets into the network, it can be like there would be a big catastrophe. Okay, because a lot of human lives will be lost in that. So this is also coming up, critical infrastructure and OT. OT is here is operational security. Okay, so moving to telecoms infrastructure, again, telecom infrastructure here refers to all the telecom related, because they are the ones which are providing the entire back-end infrastructure for this. In case if they are gone, if they are attacked, or then it will be a very big like it will be a loss, right? To give you an example, 3 years back, it was a DDoS attack on one of the biggest internet providers in Maharashtra, Hathway Internet. So the hackers had targeted the internet provider only. So DDoS here, it means as distributed denial of service. That means the internet was not available for almost more than 8 hours. Okay, more than 8 hours. So imagine if there is no internet, the business are shut. Say for example, if it is Bombay Stock Exchange, and the internet is shut for almost 8 hours. Usually the market starts at 9 and it ends at 3, so it's 6 hours. So the entire market time has gone. So imagine the number of the loss of money it could have incurred on that day. Okay, so this could be the level of damage it could do. So telecom infrastructure becomes very important. How entire infrastructure is, how the policy procedure are placed in that, and how do you secure that, is all what you do in telecom infrastructure security. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions? I hope I am not going fast. I hope I'm. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If anybody wants to ask any
Till
questions, they
till
can ask
till
now.
here, if you want to ask anything, or else if you want to park it for the last half an hour, I'll do that. Then I'll just move ahead. Okay, fine. No issues. If you have any questions, we'll park it for the last half an hour. I'll just take you to the next slide. This is the governance, risk, and compliance. Again, this part of uh, here, basically, which I mentioned, that regulatory compliances, the NIST standard, GDPR, it refers to the EU standard which have come up. Indian standards are also coming up. ISO 27001. These are all regulatory compliances. Okay, so this usually covers the entire framework, policy framework. You need to document it to for an organization to function with respect to cyber security. Okay, so to give you a small example, again the ID card wala example. Um, uh, ID card is required to get into your college. Okay, you will have to show the ID card to the watchman. He will check. Okay, fine, you are a student of this year only, latest ID card, of course, and you are allowed to enter the campus. Okay, so this is a policy. Okay, which has been documented at the back end. So and it is being followed on ground also. So in certain lines, you will have to document certain policies, procedure for an organization's level. Okay, again, physical level identification and control being one of them, that there is a biometric or an access card given to a particular employee, or he needs to do his fingerprint also, that on that lines for physical security. Then going into the other logical securities, like he has to enter the password, and there should be a password lockout policy, maker checker kind of a thing, things like that. Okay, so there are certain things which you need to document. So your job will be to document all this, or face certain audits on the part of organizations. Okay, there is RBI, okay, Reserve Bank of India. There is SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India, IRDA, Insurance Regulatory Board of India. Okay, these are all regulatories, and they have certain guidelines, and which you need to cater to as an organization. So as a cyber security governance, risk, and compliance employee, you will have to take care of all that particular aspect. Okay, so here also you can opt for PCI DSS only. So there are QSAs. PCI DSS here means payment card data security standards. So we all use Visa, RuPay card, MasterCard, right? So there are certain guidelines which are followed across the globe, for which you need to follow certain guidelines at your organization level in case if you're transacting card details and things like that. Okay, so for example, latest what they have done is, you must have seen that you when you put your ATM card in the ATM machine, it locks, right? Right. So it has been enforced due to a guideline given by the RBI, that because why it happened, because so you must have heard about a card fraud which happened in around 2018. Okay, and SBI had blocked 6 million cards because the data was available on darknet on sale. Okay, so imagine 6 million cards they had to reissue. So the 6 million card, say for example, I'm taking you to the commercial angle also and the reputation loss also. So imagine 6 million cards have to be reissued, right? For printing a normal Visa card or a Master card, it takes around 100 rupees. Okay. And to courier that is next 50 rupees. So 150 rupees is my input to that particular card. So imagine you can multiply that into 6 million cards. So that is the amount which would be required by SBI to reissue that. This is one. Okay, that's a monetary loss. Second, a reputation loss again. That SBI had to reissue this much cards, and so obviously the customers will not trust SBI or will stop using SBI cards or will move on to some other bank or things like that. So these are certain things which can happen. Okay, so this all guidelines, what to follow, how to follow, are given by PCI DSS. That's a payment security payments card industry data security standards, and it has been given by PCI Council. So these are certain regulatories, and as in in case if you're choosing this career, so you need to have thorough knowledge about it. And this of course will come with years of experience that when you start learning and getting into cybersecurity. So you'll start learning what cybersecurity like governance is, ISO 27001, and then moving on to PCI DSS. Okay, coming to BCM, business continuity management. To give you a very our example only, we all are working from home. You all are attending your college from home, right? On internet. So this is called the business continuity management. Say for example, if anything happens, be it earthquake or fire or flooding, and say for example ours, the COVID situation currently, right? So but the business can't be shut, right? You have to keep the business on. वो बोलते हैं ना कि the show must go on. वैसे this is on that lines only. You need to have a proper documentation in place that in case of a catastrophe, these are certain things which you need to follow, and this is something which should happen on immediate basis. Because अभी say for example earthquake आ गया, earthquake आने के बाद या वो बिल्डिंग खाली करना पड़ेगा, सब मूव हो जाएगा वहां पे. अगर आपका डेटा सेंटर होगा, डेटा सेंटर अगर टूट गया तो आपका एप्लीकेशंस बंद हो जाएगा, आपका कनेक्शंस बंद हो जाएगा, पूरा सब ठप हो जाएगा. बराबर. जैसे मैंने हैथवे का एग्जांपल दिया था कि पूरा 8 घंटे तक वो ऑन ही नहीं कर पाए, तो वैसे उतना लॉस हो सकता है. तो वो सब डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करने का काम आपका होगा. तो उसमें सब आपको रिस्क देखना पड़ेगा. तो रिस्क मिटिगेशन जो बीसीएम के नीचे उसमें आ गया, वो कि आपको स्टेक होल्डर से बात करना पड़ेगा कि आपका सबसे बड़ा रिस्क क्या है. अगर ये हुआ तो क्या, ये हो गया तो क्या, ऐसे हुआ तो क्या. तो वो सब डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, उसका भी एक स्टैंडर्ड है 22301. तो वो लाइंस पे ही आपको सब करना पड़ता है, एंड देन अकॉर्डिंगली यू विल हैव टू डॉक्यूमेंट द पॉलिसी. एंड फिर अगर कुछ होता है आगे, कोई कैलामिटी आती है, तो वो बिजनेस डॉक्यूमेंट रिफर किया जाता है, एंड अकॉर्डिंगली दे गेट बैक टू द स्टेक होल्डर, और फिर वो मोड्स वैसे ऑपरेट करना चालू करते हैं. ठीक है. Moving on to cybersecurity strategy and maturity assessment. Again, this is a very high level like job. I mean, when it comes after 3 to 4 years of experience, wherein the organization have already certain cybersecurity policies and procedures in place, and you have to do certain audits and give them a roadmap कि ये फेज वाइज आपको इम्प्लीमेंट करना है. ये फर्स्ट फेज में ये करना है, आईएसओ इम्प्लीमेंट करना है. सेकंड फेज में आपको सॉक इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, टेक व्हाट सॉक इज ऑल अबाउट. फिर बाद में थर्ड फेज में ये करना है. बेसिकली अ प्लान टू टेक यू एट अ लेवल वेयर इन सिक्योरिटी विल बी एट द 99% सिक्योर. ओके, यहाँ पे 100% कोई गारंटी नहीं देता है, क्योंकि 100% सिक्योरिटी पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. 1% चांस होता ही है कि कुछ ब्रीच होगा. तो वो अभी आप पूछोगे वो 1% ऐसे क्यों है, तो 1% इसके लिए क्योंकि वीकेस्ट लिंक ह्यूमन होता है. अगर कोई भी ह्यूमन बीइंग ने, मतलब कोई भी आपका एम्प्लॉय हुआ, एंड यूजर जो अपन बोलते हैं, उसने अगर कोई फिशिंग ईमेल पे, कैंपेन पे या फिशिंग ईमेल अगर क्लिक कर दिया, तो बैकएंड पे पूरा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कितना भी आप ये कर लो, पर वो ब्रेक हो सकता है. वैसे, क्योंकि फिशिंग ईमेल और मालवेयर ऑलरेडी कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो गए, देन इट्स इन योर सिस्टम एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट। तो वैसे, तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ कैसे वो बार बार एजुकेट करते रहना पड़ेगा कि सिक्योरिटी क्या है, व्हाट इज साइबर सिक्योरिटी एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट, व्हाट यू शुड डू, व्हाट यू शुड नॉट डू, थिंग्स लाइक दैट। ओके, तो ये है। कमिंग टू सीएसपी ऑडिट्स, डिजास्टर रिकवरी पॉलिसी प्रोसीजर, वो सब उसमें कवर हो जाता है। सीएसपी अगेन बीइंग एन इंटरनेशनल बॉडी, स्विफ्ट यहाँ पे इज एन इंटरनेशनल सोसाइटी which takes place between the international transfers, मतलब यहाँ से इंडिया से अगर किधर और भेजना है तो वो स्विफ्ट के थ्रू जाता है। वो पीएनबी का अपने स्विफ्ट का बड़ा, सबसे बड़ा ये देखा ही रहेगा, फ्रॉड देखा ही रहेगा। ओके, तो वो है वो। सो उसके भी अभी कुछ गाइडलाइंस आए हैं जो अपने को फॉलो करने पड़ते हैं, थिंग्स यू नीड टू फॉलो, वैसे ही जैसे ISO 27001 है, PCI-DSS है, वैसे। ठीक है, तो ये वाले पार्ट में गवर्नेंस रिस्क एंड कंप्लायंस में आपको ऑडिट करना पड़ेगा, ऑडिट को फेस करना पड़ेगा, पॉलिसीज प्रोसीजर्स डॉक्यूमेंट करने पड़ेंगे, एंड यू विल हैव टू एनविसाज कि ऐसे हो सकता है, जैसे रिस्क मैनेजमेंट बेसिकली, कि ये होगा तो ये होगा टाइप्स। तो रिस्क मैनेजमेंट का एग्जांपल जैसे कि अगर वेरी लेमैन एग्जांपल, कि अगर मैंने अगर पता है कि ये होने वाला है अगले 10 दिन में, ये मार्केट गिरने वाला है, फिर भी मैंने ये शेयर ले लिया है, तो वो उसको आप रिस्क मानते हो। ठीक है, तो वैसे टाइप्स, तो वो आपको एक एनविसर्च करना पड़ता है कि रिस्क, वो ऑब्वियसली वो स्टेक होल्डर से बात करके आपको पता चलेगा कि रिस्क क्या हो सकता है। ठीक है, तो मूविंग ऑन टू सिक्योरिटी ऑपरेशन सेंटर फॉरेंसिक्स एंड डिवाइस मैनेजमेंट। ठीक है, तो इसमें सिक्योरिटी मॉनिटरिंग में क्या होता है कि 24/7 ये एक मॉनिटरिंग होता है आपके क्रिटिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का। जब क्रिटिकल इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मतलब आपके सर्वर्स, जो जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू आर अ बैंकिंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, आपके एप्लीकेशन सर्वर्स, आपका डेटाबेस, आपका स्विच बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है आपके लिए। ठीक है, तो उसका मॉनिटरिंग होना बहुत जरूरी है। अगर कोई अटैक कर रहा है आपके ऊपर, तो वो पर्टिकुलर आईपी कहाँ से अटैक हो रहा है, कितने फोर्स से हो रहा है, या एप्लीकेशन को कोई डीडॉस कर रहा है, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड डिनायल ऑफ सर्विस कर रहा है, तो क्या कैसे हो रहा है और कौन से आईपी से आ रहा है, और आपको क्या एक्शन लेना है, ये वो सिक्योरिटी मॉनिटरिंग में हम लोग करते हैं, जो 24/7 चलता है, 365 days। एंड यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई कि ऐसे से हो रहा है, यू हैव टू ब्रिंग इट अप टू द स्टेक होल्डर कि ये ब्लॉक करना है आईपी एड्रेस किधर जिधर है। सो इसमें बहुत से डिवाइसेस आते हैं, आईडीएस है, आईपीएस है, इंट्रूजन डिटेक्शन सिस्टम, इंट्रूजन प्रिवेंशन सिस्टम, आपका वेब एप्लीकेशन फायरवॉल है। ठीक है, ये बहुत सारे डिवाइसेस, जो सिक्योरिटी डिवाइसेस जो हम बोलते हैं, उसका मॉनिटरिंग होता है। ठीक है, इसमें बहुत सारे डिवाइसेस है, जो मैंने इधर मेंशन किया है डिवाइस मैनेजमेंट, वो उसमें आता है। इन केस इफ यू आर इंटरेस्टेड इन मैनेजिंग दैट, तो वो भी एक बहुत अच्छा करियर ऑप्शन है, एंड इन केस इफ यू आर थिंकिंग ऑन दैट लाइंस। बट ये सब के लिए आपको बेसिक्स से बहुत आपको ये करना पड़ेगा, बेसिक्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है इसके लिए, क्योंकि वो लेवल पे पॉलिसीज बनाना डिवाइस मैनेजमेंट के लिए, वैसे। ठीक है, ये होता है सिक्योरिटी मॉनिटरिंग में। तो वल्नरेबिलिटी मैनेजमेंट, और ये उसमें से भी होता है, सिक्योरिटी ऑपरेशन सेंटर से भी होता है। डिजिटल फॉरेंसिक्स जो मैंने पहले बताया, कॉम्प्रोमाइज असेसमेंट इज ऑन द सिमिलर लाइंस, पर डिजिटल फॉरेंसिक्स में होता है कि आपका डिस्क फॉरेंसिक्स होता है। डिस्क फॉरेंसिक्स मतलब आपका जो लैपटॉप का डिस्क हो या डेस्कटॉप का डिस्क हो, हार्ड डिस्क हो, आपको पता चला है असेसमेंट करने के बाद कि ये पर्टिकुलर आईपी से अटैक हुआ है, तो आपको कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ में प्रेजेंट करने के लिए कुछ एविडेंसेस लगते हैं। तो वो एविडेंसेस जो लगते हैं वो फॉरेंसिक्स टीम करती है, एंड वो अपने को एक सर्टेन वे में प्रेजेंट करना पड़ता है, जो चेन ऑफ कस्टडी बोलते हैं। तो वो लाइंस पे वो काम होता है। ठीक है, उसको फॉरेंसिक्स अपन डिजिटल फॉरेंसिक्स बोलते हैं। जो नॉर्मल फॉरेंसिक्स है, जो फिजिकल फॉरेंसिक, जो नॉर्मल पुलिस, या आप लोग ने सीआईडी देखा ही होगा, साड़ू के वाला, तो वो फॉरेंसिक्स वैसे अपना डिजिटल फॉरेंसिक्स होता है, जिसमें अपने को पूरा ईमेल फॉरेंसिक्स हो गया, वो सब करना पड़ता है। ठीक है, दिस इज यूजुअली यूज्ड फॉर क्लेमिंग सर्टन थिंग्स, ओके, जैसे आईपीआर हो गया, ठीक है, किसी ने एप्लीकेशन बनाया, मेरा भी एप्लीकेशन सेम है, मैंने उसका कोड चोरी कर लिया, ठीक है, कोड अवेलेबल था, मैंने कोड चोरी कर लिया और वैसे का वैसा एप्लीकेशन दूसरे नाम से बना दिया, थोड़ा सा मॉडिफिकेशन करके, पर फिर वो क्लेम करता है ये तो मेरा एप्लीकेशन है, तो वो बोलता है नहीं ये तो मैंने बनाया है, तो वो क्लेम करता है कि वो आईपीआर है। एंड तो वो आईपीआर क्लेम करने के लिए फॉरेंसिक्स की जरूरत पड़ती है और वो सर्टेन सर्टिफिकेट्स रहते हैं और हम लोग आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं लाइन बाय लाइन एंड चेक वेदर ऑल द स्क्रीन और यूजर इंटरफेस और बैकएंड पे कैसे जा रहा है रिक्वेस्ट, वो सब करके अपने को एक प्रेजेंट करना पड़ता है। यूजुअली ये जो जो इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज रहती है, अगर उन्होंने साइबर इंश्योरेंस लेके रखा है और अटैक हुआ या रैंसमवेयर हुआ या सामने किसी ने रैंसम मांगा है, आपका कंप्यूटर लॉक करके आपका डेटा लॉक कर दिया है, तो वो सब में डिजिटल फॉरेंसिक्स काम आता है इन केस इफ यू आर प्लानिंग टू मूव इनटू फॉरेंसिक्स। तो अगेन बेसिक्स तो आ गए, इसके लिए काफी कुछ टूल्स हैं जो यूज होते हैं, जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लेवल्स पे ही आते हैं यूजुअली, अपने को मतलब एट अ पर्सनल लेवल काफी फ्री टूल्स अवेलेबल है बट दे आर नॉट दैट इफेक्टिव वैसे, ठीक है। तो ये हो गया डिजिटल फॉरेंसिक्स वाला पार्ट। कॉम्प्रोमाइज असेसमेंट आई हैव कवर्ड। सॉक मैच्योरिटी अगेन, जो जो ऑलरेडी प्लेस में है सॉक, एक सेकंड लेवल या थर्ड लेवल मैच्योरिटी आती है जब एक्टिव थ्रेट हंटिंग करते हैं, मतलब ये तो अपन ये कर रहे हैं कि कोई अटैक कर रहा है तो हम लोग डिटेक्ट कर रहे हैं और फिर हम लोग उनको अलर्ट कर रहे हैं। पर एक्टिव थ्रेट हंटिंग क्या होता है कि ये अटैक होने के पहले ही हम देख लेते कि भाई ये अटैक होने वाला है टाइप्स वैसे, तो वो लाइंस पे वो दैट्स अगेन कम्स अंडर लाइक ऑन द सेकंड और थर्ड स्टेज, जिसमें काफी कुछ इयर्स ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस आने के बाद आपको पता चलेगा हाँ ठीक है ये समथिंग, अगर ये ऐसे हुआ तो यूज केस बेसिकली उसको बोलते हैं हम लोग कि ये ऐसा यूज केस है, अगर ये यूज केस अगर हिट होता है तो ये अभी ये इधर डीडोस होने का चांसेस है या ये अटैक होने का चांसेस है, या ये एक सिस्टम पे आया है अभी ये बाजू वाले सिस्टम पे गया है, मतलब से फॉर एग्जांपल ये आईटी डिपार्टमेंट में आया है तो कॉम्स डिपार्टमेंट में भी दिखा है, मतलब ये कुछ अलग कर रहा है, यहाँ से जाके सीएस में गया, कॉम्स में गया है, ठीक है, तो वो कुछ अलग कर रहा है और फिर उससे डेटा बाहर भेज रहा है, तो दैट्स कॉल्ड एक्टिव थ्रेट हंटिंग, ठीक है। रेड टीम आई हैव कवर्ड। एंटी फिशिंग, ब्रांड मॉनिटरिंग, डार्क वेब मॉनिटरिंग, ये सब सोशल इंजीनियरिंग का पार्ट है। आपको एक वीडियो दिखाता हूँ, उसमें आपको पता चल जाएगा, और उसमें स्टार्टिंग में कुछ आईओटी रिलेटेड भी है, वो भी मैं आपको बताता हूँ। जस्ट आई स्टॉप शेयरिंग दिस एंड स्टार्ट द वीडियो।
DEF CON is the biggest hacker convention of the year. It's a place where thousands of hackers come to hear talks to demonstrate their newest hacks. It's actually a place that's so dangerous to be on the internet that they tell you to turn off the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth on your phone.
ये लैग हो रहा है क्या? आपको आवाज कुछ अलग आ रहा है क्या मैम, कि बराबर आ रहा है?
आ रहा है सर
आ
आवाज।
रहा है ना, लैग नहीं ना हो रहा, वही पूछ रहा था।
पता है
And
तुमको
it's
लैग हो
use
रहा
the
है?
ATMs too, because those can be hacked.
ओके नो इश्यूज मैम, मैं चालू करूँगा।
ओके सर।
Hacked as well. This is the DEF CON ballroom. This is for the main room where things are happening. And it's pretty wild. I think this is car hacking village. This car's locked. Can you get me in?
I'll unlock it for you. Should be good.
Hacking is no longer like this fringe activity, and you are at DEF CON. There's a good chance that you're here because you want to learn what could happen to you or your company.
Anyone here first time in the SCCTF? Holy crap.
I invited Chris to hack me with his team, but they're going to hack me using social engineering, which is essentially hacking without any code. They just use a phone and an internet connection.
We help people with human security issues by testing vulnerabilities for like a network test, but it's for the people network. We test those vulnerabilities, see where the holes are, and then help people learn so they can patch them.
Can we try some of this? Can we try some?
Yeah,
See if it works.
Yeah, we probably could have our star Visher here make some phone calls as.
Let's do it.
Sure. You want to do a sample phishing call?
What's phishing?
Phishing is voice solicitation, and basically what you do is you use the phone to extract information or data points that can be used in a later attack.
Let's do it. Who are you gonna call?
Maybe I'll call your cell phone provider
Okay.
and see if I can get them to give me your email address.
I bet they're good. I bet they have my back. But yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna spoof from your number, so it's gonna look like it's calling from you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm so sorry. Can you hear me okay? My baby, I'm sorry. my husband's like, we're about to apply for a loan and we just had a baby and he's like, get this done by today. So I'm so sorry. I can't call you back. I'm trying to log into our account for usage information and I can't remember what email address we used to log the account. The baby's crying and can you help me? Awesome.
In just 30 seconds,
@gmail.com.
Jessica gets my personal email address.
Now, if I needed to add our older daughter on our account so she could call in and make changes, how would I need to go about doing that? You would have to send me a secure PIN through a text message? Yeah, well, the thing is, I don't think I'll be able to receive a text message if I'm on the phone. Oh, I'm not on there either? So I thought when we got married, he added me to the account. Okay, my
Jessica uses my girlfriend's name and a fake social security number
name 5127.
to set up her own personal access to my account.
Wait, I'm sorry, so there's no password on my account right now? Can I set that up?
She even gets the support person to change my
Thank you
password.
so much for your help today.
So she just basically blocked me out of my own account.
I'll get her fed after this. All right, thank you.
Holy shit. So they just gave you access to my entire cell phone account.
You're gonna have to go on and change your password now because it's just my name.
And all it took was a crying baby and a phone call.
Yes.
I really thought that my cell phone company would protect me.
Okay, I hope you got that right. You must have seen the first wala part also, that how he unlocks the car. Okay, that's something which we can cover under the IoT part. Okay, that's something that's Internet of Things, because now all the cars have been connected and 5G coming in, there will be driverless cars and things like that. And of course, you being from all the backgrounds from EXTC to comms to IT, will be developing certain things on that lines also. Okay, so this becomes very important. Second part, what you saw was social engineering, and this actually happens. This was one of the examples usually, and we also do in red team assessment. This is called wishing, and we try to lure them. And in fact, this you also can like tell your parents or friends and also your colleagues also that there are like a lot of cyber crimes happening over wishing. Okay, so they are so trained that you end up giving the details. Okay, in fact, one of the biggest scam till date was unearthed in Noida, a call center fraud, which were they were threatening the US citizens. Okay, by like calling them and telling them your computer has been affected with ransomware. They used to send some details on the email, and then in case if that particular individual clicks on it and then it locks, and then they used to lure them, and all the money was siphoned off. So it was run from India only. Okay, with the help of 2 or 3 people in US. And also many of times you must have come across people asking for details, and they would call you and अरे आपका कार्ड ब्लॉक हो गया है, आपको ओपन करने के लिए आपको ये OTP शेयर कर रहे हैं, आप जल्दी से शेयर करो नहीं तो 10,000 का ट्रांजैक्शन हो रहा है, आपने किया क्या. So in that panic, You tell that okay fine, अरे मैंने तो 10,000 का ट्रांजेक्शन किया नहीं, पर ये हाँ आप जल्दी से ब्लॉक कर दो, विदाउट इवन हैविंग अ सेकंड थॉट कि अरे मतलब ये ओटीपी पूछ रहा है, ये ओटीपी क्यों पूछ रहा है टाइप्स. एंड वो हीट ऑफ द मोमेंट में हो जाता है, एंड अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हैव लॉस्ट इट. ओके, लॉस्ट अ लॉट ऑफ मनी, और 10-20 हजार रुपए तो ऐसे ही चला जाता है वैसे. So you also keep in mind and also tell your parents, because this is going up, okay, and a lot of we are being seeing a lot of cyber crimes happening from phishing emails, from phone calls, from SMS. And since it's festival season, and festival season, you will be getting messages on WhatsApp, अरे 99 में मिल रहा है, या 70% off, या 80% off. Please think before you click. जैसे अभी नेक्स्ट वाला थोड़ा सा जो पार्ट है उसमें वही है कि वो you will lose all the information which you have on your phone. Okay, and this is reality, and I'm not exaggerating it, but this is reality. I'll show you the next part. Okay, this is how they operate, and this is how the data is traded in dark web and dark net. Okay, and I'll just take you through another like the second part of it. I'll just take you through that.
I mean, like, this is the most basic stuff, and they're not doing it. And if they're not doing it, you know all these other businesses aren't doing it either. Anyone with a phone and an internet connection can do social engineering. But I was curious, what can a hacker with serious coding skills do?
Well, DEF CON is the world's biggest hacking convention. It's hacking everything, hacking social, hacking hardware, hacking software, hacking various systems.
I asked Dan Tentler, a well-known security researcher, to turn all of his firepower on me.
I did get into quite a number of things that I found.
So what were the first things you did? How did you start hacking me?
I quickly found your Squarespace blog and had an idea. Basically what I did was created a bogus Squarespace site and sent an email to you, a phish asking you to go to this website, run the certificate installer.
And I did it, because
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
So once you ran that, it gave me access to your computer, and I created several fake pop-ups that looked like system pop-ups that would ask you for your credentials.
You didn't even have to have my passwords.
No, you gave them to me.
I gave them to you.
Yeah. So I stole your 1Password keychain.
And 1Password is where I store all my other passwords. So effectively by...
And your social security number and your Amex stuff and all your stock trading and bank information. I can send email to everyone in this room as you. I am you right now, if I want it to be. If my evilness is working correctly, it should actually be taking pictures of your desktop and pictures through your webcam every 2 minutes. And I have been watching you for about 2 days now. In coffee shops, at your mom's house, on a plane. Here's your editing stuff. There's you like.
Oh my God, so
looking
this
nervous.
is literally
Every 2 minutes.
through my webcam.
Yeah, through this guy.
How badly could you have messed up my life?
I could have made you homeless. I could have made you homeless and penniless.
How?
Like,
How would you make me homeless?
Like I have control of your digital life in its entirety. I have all your credentials. I have all your access to all your financial information, all your work information, all your personal information. I can pay people with your bank account or your Amex account. I am you. I can fully impersonate. Like, the only thing I couldn't doctor would be like your fingerprints.
This is like as bad as it gets.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's bad.
So it turns out that Dan Tentler is very good at his job. I mean, he hacked the hell out of me. He got everything. I mean, frankly, I want to take my computer and throw it into the deepest part of the ocean, and I want to become a hermit, and I want to never touch a piece of technology again, because holy shit, that was everything. That was the keys to my entire life, and he just pulled them out of his pocket.
Okay, so I hope you must have got that idea, right? What I was talking about, that how social engineering works and how it can damage Sorry. Yeah. So this is what I was talking about, what social engineering is and how it can damage and how we can do that. So this is at an individual level. Think of an organization which can be bought down, okay, with this kind of an activity. So your reputation loss is a very big uh, key in cybersecurity. Okay, so reputation loss and of course the finances part. So you must have heard about the like last last year, early last year, 2019, there was a big fraud of around 100 CR, Cosmos Bank, right? So they managed to siphon off all the money from the bank. Around 100 crores was lost within 2 days time, and till date it has not been traced. Okay, so of course financial loss is one of the things, but reputation loss is also one of the things which we have to take care. Okay, so moving on to bug bounty. This is also one of the great careers ahead in case if you are planning to, because here what happens is you need to find bugs in a particular application, or so because there are a lot of open forums which does this. Okay, and many of you, like many of students like you, start from the engineering college only, that hunting bugs and going on to applications and finding out bugs and things like that. But also you'll have to be very careful about the disclosure. You will not be able to disclose it in public, because if you disclose it in public that this bug exists in this particular application or in the website, then obviously you will not get the bounty. Bounty here means the money, and of course there will be like there will be repercussions, like you will have cases against you in case if you publicly disclose any of the vulnerabilities, and which can harm the reputation of the organization or have the loss to that company. So you have to be very careful. So there are certain protocols in which you have to follow in case if you are following that, and submit the like the proof of concept, whatever bugs you are identifying in that. Okay, so just don't try this like directly, because it is very lucrative. I'll show you what I mean. So one is that India is a powerhouse, and we have taken the top spot in bug crowd hackers worldwide. So we have like more number of bug bounty hunters than any other country, and this was in June. Okay, and one of the biggest bug bounties which was paid was by Apple. Many of you must have read also about this, that this particular guy from Bangalore, Bhavik Jain, he identified a bug in Apple's sign-on, okay, sign-in vulnerability. Apple have paid him 75 lakh rupees. Okay, so this is one of the case. There are many bug bounties which are given, but just because we all are familiar with Apple and the amount again is very huge, I have highlighted this. This again can be a career. Many of them do this, and also like a lot of fame and a lot of things you can do with this. Okay, like Hall of Fame is there. You come on the Google Hall of Fame or Microsoft Hall of Fame and things like that, in case if you find certain bugs. Facebook has their bug bounty disclosures. Apple, again, you can see it here. Many of the social media accounts and big giants have a security disclosure form in their application only. You just have to check. Okay, but don't disclose it in public. You will be you will regret that. Okay, going forward in case if something happens. Okay, yeah. So moving ahead, what market trend is all about, what cybersecurity looks like, and what it was. Okay, so I assume you must be in the like you must have started your 12th and first year around last year or before that. Okay, so we have been seeing this trend and the spend on cybersecurity, and this is next 7 years. This is what we are going to see the trend. Okay, it's around $281 billion are going to be spent on cybersecurity. Okay, and it was 112 last year. So you can see how much the market is going to spend on cybersecurity. Okay, this is the next 7-year forecast. And if you want to see industry wise, you can see here the BFSI sector, that's the banking, finance sector, and insurance sector, which will spend more more on cybersecurity, just because they have certain regulatory compliances to be given. Okay, IRBI is there, the IRDA is there, RBI is there, SEBI is there. Okay, on that lines. And then other industries, aerospace is there, healthcare. Many of you might go to not specifically to BFSI sector, but other industries also, healthcare, pharma, IT, telecom security, and things like that. So here you can see that breakup. So all in all, there will be they will be spending on cybersecurity. Okay, and there will be requirement of cybersecurity people, and we need to get skilled on that. In case if you're planning to for a career in cybersecurity, then we need to have certain skills, and you can start early so that you can acquire it at the end of your graduation. Okay. So what currently gap is in cybersecurity? Okay, and this is specifically to India. So world in world it is there, and a lot of requirement is there in cybersecurity. I'll just showcase few of the reports, and which says around 3.5 million jobs are going to be unfilled. Okay, till the end of year 2021, and in fact, in India, till the end of 2020, it will be 1 million jobs which will be there. And there is still demand, and it is going to be going up only, because since a lot of everyone has moved from work from home, and cybersecurity professionals are needed now. So this obviously figure will go up. Okay. And in cybersecurity, as per the report, the unemployment rate is 0. Okay. And this has picked up from 2013 and 2014, and you can guarantee that you will not be unemployed at least till next 10 years, because everyone needs cybersecurity professional, right? And there are no one to do this, right? Because this is something a very niche career, and you need to have that skills to get into this. Okay. And in fact, I've been speaking to quite a couple of HRs in the industry, and they were like, they are giving around more than 100% hike when they are switching their jobs from one company to the other. Okay, so you can imagine the what you say, demand of cybersecurity skilled professional. I'll show you what the average salary is, and how what exactly the career starts, and what is our ultimate aim, okay, to be at. Okay, so here are certain average salaries. This is taken from a very leading job site. Okay, so an entry level security analyst, which they call, gets around this is an average salary. Okay, again, if you have the skills, and if you have rights certain certifications, and you manage to crack the interview on your skills, and of course on your technical skills also, then you can get more than 5 lakhs aram se. And then moving on to the chief information security officer, that's the end goal, which usually after around 10 to 12 years of experience in the security field, you could get paid up to 1 crore also. This is an average salary which I'm putting here. It's around 40-50 lakhs, but in industry it is more than a crore, the salary. Okay. And there are certain mandates which says that there should be chief information security officers in place. Okay, so this is a career path which you can look at. Okay, from starting an entry level cybersecurity analyst to senior analyst to a CISO, that's the chief information security officer, or a CRO, chief risk officer, in case if you are from the GRC background, that's the governance, risk and compliance background. CTO, that's the Chief Technology Officer, which takes care of all the technology, IT, as well as the information security part. CIO, Chief Information Officer. It depends. These are certain designations differs from organization to organization. Again, some have CTO, some have CIO, some have CRO, or some have CISOs. Okay, they directly report into the management of the organization. Okay, that's again totally depends on organization to organization. This is your career map. This is what you can see yourself 10-15 years down the lane. And of course you can earn a lot of money and salary. And yes, knowledge will play a very big role here, because in cybersecurity there's no you will have to keep learning every day. Every day you will have to be learning, because hackers are inventing new things to get into the system, right, to get data out, because obviously that is something which they will earn from. Okay. And there are various state sponsored attacks also. State sponsor means like the government sponsors the attack. So but obviously they will not claim it, but yes, there are certain things which are being done at the state the country level. Okay, that we usually call it as a state sponsored attack. Okay, so that's something which also can be taken care of. So these are certain certifications or certain skills you need to over a period of time once you enter cybersecurity. And first 2 years what you need to do, from 2 to 5 years what you need to do, what certifications to take in, what you can look at, or how you can change your skills from the from normal assessment to any other device management and things like that. Okay. So these are certain, in case if you are from the GRC, what all things you can look here at, any certifications you want to go to, like ISO 27001, there is a lead auditor, lead implementer, then PCI DSS, as I mentioned, can be done. That QSA usually is called to do the assessment or the audit part. Okay. And a lot of certifications there, you once you enter, you will get to know. Okay, for this. In the SOC also, in case if you're in the security operations center, there are certain things which you can over a period of time you can learn, and how you can move up the ladder to become a SOC head. Okay, I will be sharing this in case if you want to revisit it. I'm not going into details because this is very early for you to get into the details of all this, but this will be you can use it as an example, and you can use it as reference also for yourself, that what all things can be done. These are certain references from where I have gathered certain data.
Uh,
Okay, I'm open to questions in case if you have any, and you can.
okay, SC students, if you have any questions, you can start asking them to sir. We will do it class wise, okay? SC, TE, then BE. SC students, do you have any questions to ask? You can unmute yourself, or else you can put it in the chat box. Okay, nothing from SC. T can go ahead. Anybody from T? Okay, sir, Yash Hirani says please share the PPT or its link.
Sure, sir, I'll do that, ma'am. I'll share that with you. You can just internally share it, ma'am.
Sure, sir. Okay, I will mail you the link. Everybody. T people, you have this subject now, cryptography. You can start asking questions. Sir, Rishabh Ugle is asking, what are the basic needs to start hacking?
So basic needs, as in say, like hacking is something which is a very umbrella term. So for that, in case if you are asking in the sense of application or the infrastructure, as I mentioned, the assessment part, so there are a lot of aspects to it. In case if you are very specific, if you can only do application, there are a lot of things you need to know how the application works, what application you are going to hack, and of course, the in case if you're planning to check the infrastructure, how the network works, what database is all about, and how you can get into that database via the application, things like that. So for that, you need to have that basic knowledge. Okay. So if in case I hope I have answered your question. And there are certain tools also which you need to have, which are available. And of course, you will have to have hands-on, and you have to learn that how to use that particular tool and not to damage that particular application. Okay, because a lot of times what happens is using that tools, in case if you don't know how to use that tool, you can damage the infrastructure also. So a lot of packets is sent on the application or on the infrastructure. Say for example, if it's an application server and you try to find out vulnerabilities using that tool, and in case if you run a scan on that, and there are n number of packets sent to the application. Okay, so the application can go down. Okay, that can damage that application. It can, so again it will be termed as no service available, right? So that can damage the application. So there are certain rules, regulations, and certain commands which you need to put in, so that you will have to learn. So in case if you want how you can start, initiate it, I will share that with ma'am also along with this PPT. You can just have a look. There are a lot of sites which will help you. Okay, uh, to help you to do this particular activity, hacking an application or a network, or understanding how the network works and what scans to be run, and what usually like what ports not to touch, and things like that. Okay, and I'll share that link also. You can have a look at it.
Sir, Milan is asking, what is the roadmap or the pathway?
Yeah. So as I've been mentioning from the start, that basics should be clear, and the what security aspects we use. Okay. For that particular part. So say for example, if it's a network, then what network security is all about, what all things we should take into consideration for network security, and how it is implemented, and that you can start initiate it on that level. Okay, and then moving on to database security, application security, then mobile application, Android, iOS. There are a lot of things to it. Okay, you have to go phase wise, and you have to start small so as to get into the cybersecurity network. So again, I hope I have answered your question. In case if you like, is there any platform where we can practice what this? Yes, there are a lot of like there are various applications available on internet, which wherein you can practice. Okay, there is WebGoat. There is one of the pen testers, pen tester monkey is there. A lot of sites is there wherein you can practice. Okay.
Okay, Pradeep wants to know, why do the people who create hacking tools share them?
Absolutely true. So you should be aware of what exactly to download and what exactly not to download. Okay, so like you mentioned, it says hack Wi-Fi, and in the background it actually does. Okay, hacking a Wi-Fi, it's not an application's job. Okay, there are certain things which you need to have in place. So there's netcrack ng, which is used to usually have that data, and you have to be in physical vicinity of that particular Wi-Fi. Okay, that will help you hack the Wi-Fi. So obviously you'll not be downloading that particular application from Play Store and hacking Bajuwale ka Wi-Fi. Okay, so that's not
Like
that.
a Trojan horse, sir.
Sorry.
This will be like a Trojan horse.
Yeah. So usually what happens is a lot of times there are certain fake apps available on Play Store, and before they are reported, they are that they are spam or they are like not good applications. The damage is already done. A lot of people have already downloaded that, so that is it. What is vulnerability? Vulnerability is something which exists in an application or on a or in an infrastructure. Usually is called as vulnerability. So to give you an example, you have an application server and there are a number of ports open onto it, right, which are not supposed to be open on that server. So that can be a vulnerability and which can be exploited. Or to give you a very normal example, say for there are various exploits available, okay, on internet for Windows 2007, or you must have heard about the ransomware attack called WannaCry, okay, which tried to exploit the vulnerability, which was 0 day. Again, it was a 0 day. That's again a jargon which is used by security experts because it was not known before. That is why it is called as 0 day. Okay, so that particular vulnerability was exploited by the hackers, and they got into the ATM's network, and the ransomware was deployed there. That is like WannaCry. You can read about WannaCry. So that vulnerability was exploited. Basically, something which is vulnerable or can be exploited. To give you a layman's example, say for example, you have a house, okay, and you have a lock on the main gate. You have another lock on your main door, okay. So I can get into your campus, okay, into your I can just climb down to your main gate and come to your main door, okay, but I am not able to get into the house because the main door is locked. But so I move around your house and I see there's a back door or a back window which is open, okay, and that is something that is a vulnerability, and I can exploit that, okay, and I can go into your house. So a vulnerability which can be exploited is something usually is termed as a vulnerability, okay. So I found that vulnerability, that your back window is open and I can go into it. That's something is vulnerability. Which operating system knowledge is necessary for cybersecurity or hacking? Linux or Windows? Again, Linux, Windows, all basically you will have to have a fair idea of what exactly this does. So while recommending something, say for example, it's Windows, okay, while you have found out there that there are patches available, the current patches are not updated on that system, and there's something, as I mentioned earlier, that the vulnerability which was exploited on Windows because of the WannaCry, you saw that, right? But you will only be able to comment on that once you have a fair idea of what exactly it does and how does exactly it works. So you will have to have a fair idea of both the systems. In fact, you will have to have thorough knowledge about it. That will come going over the years, and it will come over the years. Windows will have also certain parameters and things which you will have to tell them that, okay, fine, you have to mitigate this or patch this because of this can happen, and things like that. Usually it's on the application, on the server lines, not on the endpoints, because on endpoints by endpoints I mean your laptops, desktops, okay, the systems which are there on the servers, okay, servers and be it Windows or Linux servers. So you'll have to have a fair idea of that. That can be exploited, and you can have reported to them that this can be exploited. Not any particular language, but yes, a lot of times Python is used to create PowerShells, which is used by used to write certain specific codes, or depending on how the entire system is or how the current infrastructure is, you will have to deploy or develop your own PowerShell. A lot of PowerShells are available, and mostly it is written in Python. There is also Ruby. There is Python is mostly used. Ruby is used, and there are mainly a lot of converters also available, which takes you through that. How to secure our systems from hacker? Securing, see, at an individual level, if you're asking me, then there are a lot of things to it. One, you keep your system updated. Don't plug in any of the pen drives which anyone has given or you must have found out somewhere while moving around. Okay. Third, don't click on emails or links which you have come across, which you know that this was not supposed to be for me or someone very lucrative. अरे Amazon से मेरे को ऑफर आया है कि दिवाली पे, तो चल देखते हैं करके लैपटॉप अपने को 10,000 में मिल रहा है. So don't fall for this, because this is something not for you, right? Only if you're going to get an email from someone. Say for example, me, Pratik, is going to send an email to you, Rishabh, only then you open that email. Otherwise, please don't open it. And this you should practice, and also tell your parents also, because now since everyone is in the digital mode, everyone has a smartphone, and they are the most vulnerable because they are new to this technology, right? And they are the most vulnerable people currently, especially our parents and our grandparents. बिकॉज कुछ भी आता है व्हाट्सएप पे, अरे क्लिक करके देखते हैं, आपके लिए तोहफा भेजा है, आपके लिए ये किया है, आपके लिए वो किया है, वो चेक करते ही करते हैं कुछ भी हो जाए, एंड यू एंड अप लूजिंग मनी और द डेटा ऑन द फोन. So at an individual level, you should have this at least practice. Not clicking, not installing. Please do not use public Wi-Fi's in case if you are traveling anywhere. फ्री है तो चलो यूज करते हैं टाइप्स, ऐसे तो मत करना प्लीज कभी, क्योंकि वो फ्री नहीं होता. कभी कोई ना कोई कुछ ना कुछ तो करते ही रहता है उसके लिए, है ना. साइबर कैफेज में जाते हो तो वहां से ट्रांजैक्शंस मत करो. ट्रांजैक्शन कर रहे हो तो लॉग्स इरेज करो, and lot of things to it. You have to practice that so as to be safe. And in case if you have your banking का जो आपका email IDs है, वो दूसरे जो ईमेल आईडी आपके सोशल मीडिया पे आप यूज करते हो, तो प्लीज चेंज कर दो. बिकॉज अगर हैक हो गया तो वो भी जाएगा, और पासवर्ड अगर सेम रहेगा तो फिर तो और अच्छा, तो वो भी चला जाएगा. तो इट इज प्रेफरेबल दैट यू शुड यूज डिफरेंट अकाउंट्स फॉर डिफरेंट थिंग. पर्सनल के लिए सोशल मीडिया के लिए अलग रखो, बैंकिंग ट्रांजेक्शन्स के लिए अलग रखो. कीप योर 2-factor ऑथेंटिकेशन ऑन. बाय 2-factor ऑथेंटिकेशन आई मीन इज कि किसी और ने किधर से अगर लॉग इन किया है तो आपको ओटीपी आना ही चाहिए. दैट यू शुड टेक केयर. वो एक आप कर सकते हो आपके एंड पे, एंड ऑब्वियसली आप बता भी सकते हो आपके घर पे. If you just connect, yes, it is possible. It is possible. It is possible to hack. अब कैसे मत पूछना, बहुत बड़ा प्रोसेस है यार. लेकिन हो सकता है. Start of the process while the PC is booting or something like that. So is there any action taken? Some hackers like start up the hacking process while the PC is booting or something like that. So is there any action taken or how is it? Sorry, Ishani, I didn't get your question. कि start up their hacking process while the PC is booting or something like that. So sorry, I didn't get your question, ma'am. अगर मिटिगेशन मतलब इसका अगर एक्शन टेकन मतलब अगर आपको ये नहीं होना चाहिए तो आई थिंक आपको एक एंटीवायरस डालना पड़ेगा आपके लैपटॉप में पहले और लेटेस्ट अपडेट्स ये करना पड़ेगा और स्कैन करना पड़ेगा आपका लैपटॉप. अगर कुछ रहेगा तो निकल जाएगा. In case if that's the question you are asking. Yes.
Okay, anybody else?
Sir, why can't we hide information about our own in that? Why can't we hide information? Yes, you can hide. There are a lot of tools which can be used to hide your domain name. So there are proxies which are used usually at an organization level. At an individual level, no. But in case if you are browsing and you want to browse, you can use Tor network. तो उस पे से आपका IP trace नहीं होगा. And at an organization level अगर आप बोल रहे हो तो बहुत सारे tools available है जो proxies use करते हैं. And वो proxies use करके वो लोग actual आपका जो IP address है वो नहीं मिलता है. डोमेन तो actually जो publicly visible domain है उसका तो कोई ये नहीं होता, कोई टेंशन नहीं है क्योंकि it's publicly hosted. एंड उसके बैक एंड पे बहुत बड़ा नेटवर्क रहता है जिसमें जैसे वेब एप्लीकेशन फायरवॉल, प्रॉक्सीज जैसे मैंने मेंशन किया वो. तो आपको मेन डेटाबेस तक पहुंचने के लिए ऐसा बहुत इजी नहीं होता है वो. तो उसके लिए बहुत मशक्कत करनी पड़ती है वैसे तो ऐसा है. तो ये कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है वैसे. पर एप्लीकेशन लेवल में अगर आपका कोई फ्लॉ है तो मैं डेटाबेस तक घुस सकता हूँ वैसे.
Yes. We have just 5 more minutes now. Okay, sir, I think they have done asking questions. So, sir, if anything else you would like to add?
No, not from my side, ma'am. In case if you want to add, I will be happy to. You can get back to me in case if they come up with any other questions. Then I would be happy to help you.
Yeah, sure, sir. So, if anybody has any questions, they can put them to me and I'll forward them to sir. And then sir can get back to you when he has time for them. Okay,
Sure.
so thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much, sir, for taking such a huge amount of patience with us because we are really newbies in this field.
Yeah, sure.
Pradeep, I will get back to you. Okay, we will look at applications and software in our lecture. Okay.
We can have family on the street. Okay, no issues. Fine.
Okay, Pradeep and Shubham, we will discuss these questions in our next lecture, right? Okay. So, thank you so much again, sir, for giving your time and such a huge, vast amount of knowledge that you have shared with us. We have so benefited from it so much. We look forward to many more webinars from your end. Thank you so much for taking the time. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, बच्चों जरा रुकना. I'll share the attendance sheet with you.
I'm leaving the call.
Sir, if you want, you can leave.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll share the attendance sheet with you, okay? Just fill in your attendance and then I'll cross check the registrations and attendance and I will share a feedback link with you at evening, okay? And on that feedback link, put the feedback and then you will be given your certificate. Is that okay? Everybody understood? So first of all, fill the attendance. Then I will compare your names with the registrations and then you can I'll send you the mail, and in the mail I'll send you the feedback link. You can click on the feedback link and automatically certificate will be generated to your email ID. Is that okay? Everybody is understood? Okay. So let me share the attendance now. This is your attendance link. Please fill the attendance and let me know.